What's going on, guys? It's Goalazio here. Welcome back to another FIFA 21. Yes, I'm saying FIFA 21 again because I've been very fortunate enough to actually play the beta. That includes career mode and kickoff. I've played it with myself and I've actually played it with a couple of mates. And I have got several different opinions about the actual gameplay, what my general thoughts are. So I thought I'm going to tell you, give you a bit of pre-warning on like what to actually expect with FIFA 21. Of course, the beta is usually a really early build. Whether we'll actually, there's probably going to be a lot of changes before the full game actually comes out at the start of October. Let me know if you're going to buy it, what version you're going to buy, put it in the comment section below right now. But let's go on into this. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. So my first opinion, and I put it up on Twitter as well if you don't follow me, I actually said this is one of the best gameplays since FIFA 13. One of the things you will notice straight away from a gameplay perspective is the fact it is a lot slower. So that kind of happens every year. It becomes a lot slower. And obviously, when I played FIFA over the last couple of years, I've kind of faded off Ultimate Team. FIFA Ultimate Team was a different ball game with the actual gameplay. But from head-to-head seasons, I've quite enjoyed it. I like how I can play in head-to-head seasons. And this actually elevates that a lot more again in the actual gameplay side of things. So from a gameplay point, I am super stoked. Like, the gameplay is really fun. They've added really small cosmetic stuff which just brings our authenticity up, which they always add, but you always see it. And now some little things, for example, the goals rattle if you hit the post, which that's kind of small, but it's a really good little aesthetically pleasing addition to actually have. So from that gameplay point of view, finesse shots seem to be back really well. Defending seems to be a little more equal. However, right now it seems to be a very favourable of the attacker. Only by a small amount, but it is noticeable. That's one thing I've noticed when playing against friends or when actually playing against the AI. The approach when someone's attacking you seems to be a bit, right, okay, they can easily take advantage of you. Maybe that's a skill level which you really need to improve. I play on ultimate difficulty as well, offline. So maybe that's the kind of approach. So it's like, get better or get slapped. Maybe that's the case. Then let's actually go, which was brought by the title, FIFA 21 career mode. What am I thinking? I'm hoping this is just kind of early stages issues. It is super clunky right now from that perspective in the menu, which has always been very consistent in career mode. Like, the menus have been that little bit like you try to move and it's ever so slightly slower. We still have that at the minute, and now it's in my first season. I didn't play any longer than the first season. I was just a bit like, oh, it's got a little frustrating. So I'm hoping that kind of speeds up. Maybe that's a generation console thing. I need to try and experience on PC. I'm going to be playing on PC this year quite a lot as well as Xbox. So I'm going to be kind of interested to see how they compare. Maybe PC will be completely a lot better, but we'll wait and see. But from an Xbox perspective, it is very clunky. But the additional features they've actually added, which you can actually find up on Twitter. So this is not exactly any new information. It's been leaked rather than coming from myself. But there are several different new features that you've added in there. So, of course, we've got the sim feature, which works really well. You can jump in and out as much as you want, which I'm really happy with. And all the additional features they mentioned work really well. They've also introduced a financial takeover right at the start of career mode, which I haven't actually checked is whether you can actually ask for the takeover later on in several seasons. I need to confirm this. I just want to get it checked, but I haven't actually checked that. But you can. I have a slight inburst of money from like 5, 10 to 100 million down those lines. So you can actually go, right, okay, I'm going to have a bit of a takeover. I'm going to have a really fun career mode on top of the additional budget that I already have. So that little feature is kind of a nice one to actually have in there, and I'm a big fan of it. I'm a person who's very, I have a thing for the graphics and the aesthetically pleasing side of a game. So I love the gameplay, it's great, but I want to know what the menus are like. That's kind of how 90% of the time I spend, really. If you think about it really now, how often do you actually spend playing the game? Actually in a match. Like in career mode, a lot of the time I am in the menus, changing size, training, which we'll go out onto in a few moments time. Even without my team in the menu, making a team, all that bajazzle. But this time, the menu is probably one of my favorite menus I've actually got hold on. Like the graphics, the colors, absolutely brilliant. And the great thing is as well, which is one of the things that's bugged me, they've updated the lower leagues graphics again, which is really good, because that's one of the things that kind of bugged me, that they started bringing in all this stuff for like the Premier League and all the upper leagues, and they weren't even updating the default stuff, which was the lower league. So I'm glad that has changed. But as I just mentioned, the training to begin with was slightly complicated. I tried getting used to it to start with, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a Scooby-Doo. Definitely going to be bringing a tutorial out for you guys when I actually have the ability to share that footage. But once you actually get it going, it's actually a really good feature. Something which I'm glad has been added. I think a lot of us wanted it added. And that in-depthness of training mode is brilliant. It's something which I suggested right at the start when I suggested training mode. And to actually have the ability to train 15 plus players now is brilliant. So you can actually develop players so well. It is vitally important. But the schedule is also very... You need to think about it, because one of the issues I've had is that you are probably, one thing you will know is that you're probably not going to be playing the same 11 90% of the time, right? Because what happens is, if you train them too much and you don't rest them enough, their sharpness goes down, so you can't really play them. And you can see it on the bars. Like at one point I had a week difference, and I trained a team on the Thursday when the game was on the Saturday, and it caused my team to have rather lack sharp fitness, which, FYI, you can notice in game quite a lot. You can tell the difference between 100% and literally 70%. It is a big difference. So that is probably going to play out quite important in your games. So that's where the scheduling comes in. Like, what is the best schedule for you? That's going to be coming in a tutorial very soon as well, because it's going to be interesting to see what works well to keep the fitness high, as well as getting the ability to players actually higher. So one thing I'm going to recommend, just a note, is that try not to train too many of your first team players to begin with. Because one of the issues I had a training sessions, I think I had 6 people in there. I think there was the ability to have 5 or 6 within the one session, and 5 of those players were part of my first team, and it was a very fitness heavy session, which in turn caused the actual training to be, the actual game for them to be around 70 to 80 on sharpness, which resulted in a very poor match. You will struggle. So that's really something to take in consideration. So you really need to note that. Try not to use your first team players all the time. Take training as an opportunity to get other players up to their level, rather than trying to grow your main team higher again. Like, what your team will do is that those first team players will grow in the matches, and you train them occasionally to make them even better. And then you focus on the younger ones or the lower rated ones to get them, because they're not playing as much, they can actually do more training sessions on the days beforehand. So you really take that in consideration. It's a really good opportunity for you. So it depends how you manage it. Make sure you manage it correctly, because it'll work out brilliant for you. So guys, that was kind of a quick, snappy, that's my opinion on FIFA 21 career mode. So my overall verdict, you know what? They've made some decent changes. I am trying to take out the idea that EA are making this and trying to more of a neutral perspective, because EA are kind of from time to time. But I'm thinking this could be a really good year for career mode. It's a really good stepping stone. That's the way I'm seeing it right now. I'm not seeing it that this is a big, massive overall. If you hated career mode last year, you might not love it this year, but you might really enjoy the little extra things that they've added in FIFA 21 career mode. So take that in consideration if you are decided not to buy the game this year. But generally, I found it fun. I found career mode very fun. It's a lot more. You have to think about what you do. You can't just mindlessly just go, right, I'm going to train these players, play this game Saturday. Actually, I need to think about it. Right, this week I'm going to focus on my youth players, because I've got 3 games. I got a game on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I need to focus on it. So I'm going to focus on my youth training, and we maybe do 1 session with the first team. So you need to weigh up that, and it makes you think, and it is, my opinion anyway, is going to prolong a single save more, because I think some people might do 1 season, 2 season. I'm more the Road to Glory person, so I'm happy enough to play 5, 6, 7 seasons, but some people might only play 1 or 2 and get bored and change it. This is an opportunity probably for you to actually go, this is, I could probably stay in here. And it makes you stay near as well, like I mentioned in the trailer video, with the position training the abilities and everything. You have to wait to actually get those to happen. So, you don't particularly want to be changing Alexander-Arnold, for example, to a winger, and you end up leaving, or you finish your save within 3 weeks, within 6 months of your save, when that's going to take over 12 months. So, yeah, it's a really good prolong. I think it will prolong a lot of saves. So if you only play like a season or two, you're probably going to be playing at least 4 or 5. I personally think from playing it. But guys, that's my thoughts. That's the FIFA 21 career mode. I'm actually a fan of it. You know what? That's my verdict. I'm a big fan of it. If you've played it or if you've seen screenshots or anything like that, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It'd be good to get your opinions and everything on this. But anyway, yeah, guys, hope you all did enjoy it. If you do want to see more FIFA 21 career mode tutorials, coming up in October when the game does come out, hit that subscribe button because I got plenty coming your way very soon. But anyway, my name is Goalazio, and guess what, guys? See you guys next time. Bye-bye.